Waluigi!
On April 11th, I participated in a 24-person online tourney with a $1,000 prize pool. The top 6 players get a payout. I'm not used to good online play, so I had to learn a bit on the go. I do like Hyrule a lot, but I mess up often here, so it could be interesting. It's a very tight track. Not the typical online lobby full of Waluigi wigglers. Off to a great start, 2 coins, a lot of space, shouldn't be difficult to hold. The thing with Waluigi Scooty is that you're lighter than other meta builds, and you gotta take advantage of the mini turtle stat to keep up. Most players in this lobby are actually playing lighter builds. First lesson for me is to learn not to greed for double boxes, and you'll see it takes me a while to accept that. My versus rating isn't high enough to play against players that force me to be mindful. Online's a trash fire and a half, so I like to avoid it. Opting out of the grass cut for items instead, brake drifting to make sure I catch that box, using that star right away to make sure I don't lose it or get shocked. Middle of the pack now, very spread out. Ginja, Kugi, and Aki leading. Guess I'm not allowed any item now. I have a strong love-hate relationship with this game. I'm expecting to get hit by a red any moment now. Taking just a little bit of a wide line, the spiny shell smacks me. That's what we call a big boy hitbox. Spamming Fire Flower back to try and lessen the blow. I don't want to use the star right away if I don't have to, but I do to get rid of the ink and for the cut, but I change my mind and make a major mistake here. Being in 5th place, even this far away, will not give me items to make up for taking this wide of a line. I'm so used to feeling like I need something to defend myself at all times, but that's not always the priority. I was lucky enough to neutralize the loss with the shroom cut, but I won't be forgetting that mistake anytime soon. Something else that you'll notice is that I didn't understand the value of coins yet. I knew high-level players value them more than I thought, but not to what extent. I'm going to be making a video soon explaining just how big of a deal coins are. I knew it was important for me to use that boo soon. With it being the final lap and the pack stretched out, lightning is bound to hit. Not able to hit a key, so I start the tourney in 4th. Not what I was hoping for, but I should do better going forward. Kugi, Ginja, and Aki in the top 3. Moving forward. I don't like the Excite Bike track. You constantly have to watch for items flying in from behind, and it feels like a coin flip sometimes. This is one of the most basic tracks, so it can be hard to separate yourself with just good lines. A lot of it can come down to item usage, and that's pretty wild in this game. I'm surprised I haven't been hit yet. I was lucky DK Kugi didn't use his banana on the ramp here, as I probably would have ate it. Bit lazy of me to follow him though. Really hesitating on taking that shortcut. I wanted to make sure I got an item, but I don't get much out of it. Snaking around saved me from the green shell, not paying attention. Unfortunately couldn't see this bomb until I was on it, so just knew I had to use a mushroom to recover. Trading the triple greens there. The loss of traction messed with me hard, then I hesitate for the double box and don't get anything at all. Would have been much better to settle for a single or just wait for the double. Now I got nothing. Not expecting much from this race now, the potential to catch up is low unless I dodge lightning. Pathing for the double leaves me more helpless than I already am. Couldn't quite get the draft off Yoshi Trevito. I'm not so hot on these triple ramps. I usually try too hard to get something out of all 3 of them, and I end up messing stuff up. Timed that star just right for the cut, and finally got the double box. Now going on the offensive to salvage what I can from this sad race. Gotta at least hold my position. Unfortunately, I didn't think I had enough to get this plant out of my item slot before the next set. 3rd is finished, so the green shells secure me 4th again. If I was paying attention to the first race for who did well, like DK Kugi, then I would have noticed he's right behind me, and if I threw those green shells back, I would have put him further behind. Probably. Music Park's a beautiful course, but it's such a janky experience in this game, not to mention it's also a tight track. I think it's interesting there's two King Boo builds with us, especially on Scooty. Compared to meta builds, the most notable change from this is more grip for less speed. Grip is only good for a handful of tracks and you can do just fine without it. Hey look, I'm in first for once. Online's doing me dirty. This race is chill now, but I'm a little too comfortable not looking behind me. Only holding 2 coins right now. Able to maneuver this tricky situation. Red shell stopping me from taking the trampoline. Instead, I have to use my mushroom to recover. King Boo Ginja has an insane lead right now. Spiny shell whizzes past me. I was thinking it might not be wide enough. A little too slow to start my second drift. Now putting myself in a line that forces me to go into the light. There's some more online jank for ya. There's so much space for me right now. I hope to hold second at least because if first makes no mistakes, I won't catch him. Great landing, able to pick up a few coins. Got my item despite the bouncy floor. Taking the cut this time. It's actually faster not to do a trick so you can get a better line. Unfortunately falling here due to the sudden change in grip stat after the blooper ink went away. That was a little tilting, but that's nothing compared to what's coming up soon. Watch this. A red is gonna come soon, spamming the item to block, no time, and now stolen star. To top it off in true Mario Kart fashion, big jank. Not going to be able to pick up the pieces from that one. Agreed for a double box again and it leaves me no chance for this race. DK Zachman passing with a golden, McGamer with a star. Messing up the shortcut throws me into 9th place. All escalating from one little mistake. Ginja, Aki, and Kugi holding a solid top 3. Meanwhile, I need to be more consistent and aware if I want any chance of passing them up. This is the one Rainbow Road track in the game I actually like. It can still kind of suck to race on. It's a short track, so lightning and blue shells tend to happen at the very end. And again, it's very basic, so not a lot of driving technique goes into it. Comes down to items and coins. Good on me for using the mushroom for recovery. Passing Waluigi Toscanir, King Boo Zachman, and now Link McGamer. I know it's a good idea for me to just hold these bananas right now for defense. I might get people to have to take a wider line around me or slow down to avoid getting hit. I'm being a bit more mindful of coins this race, valuing them. Poor execution on this part, only one mini turbo out of that. Not one trick. No point in throwing the red shell right now, King Boo Ginja holding a banana. Final section, 3rd place, doing alright for myself. Going to throw the red shell for another item. I miss a box, not actually greeting for once. That red shell taking away my only defense. Just gotta make it to the next item set. Not able to get items in time. Here's that craziness I was telling you about, just like I said. Another race holding a high position and going down at the end. Getting real frustrated at this point. But did I have perfect gameplay? Absolutely not. After all that, I take 6th place this time. Kugi with the win on this one, staying close with Ginja. Aki sitting comfortably in 3rd. Trevito, Bart Simp, and I neck and neck in 4th, 5th, and 6th. It's important to move on after each race. Always a blank slate. It can be difficult to stay in control on this track with all the raised areas as well as it being narrow. Holding that banana was a mistake, slipping up Bart Simp, racing side by side now with Ginja. Sitting defenseless in first would have been best to slow down for a second place item box. So one of the unhealthy problems in this game is that a boo can steal what's in your first item slot at any point. Often you're forced to hold a coin in your first item slot to protect a defensive item in the second item slot. On the flip side, there may be very little warning to attacks including red shells, so it's tempting to use your coin and trail your valuable defense. That boomerang really messing me up with these narrow pathways. Not a lot of counterplay here. Another hit with Kugi passing me up. King Boo Ginja holding a great lead without a worry in the world. There goes my banana. Throwing back the fire in hopes of hitting DK Kugi behind me, but it's easily dodged by staying to the right. The fire would have been better used on this turn instead. King Boo Ginja holding a solid lead again, really showing that this is his tourney to run. Consistency is key at high levels of play. If you're making the least amount of mistakes, or the smallest ones at least, that will win you the majority of races. You really gotta look at the big picture, especially with the item chaos in this game. I can tell you after seeing some other players' gameplay, I have some strengths they don't, such as polished and confident driving, but they have experience in a high level of play in an online environment. Therefore, I'm making many more mistakes I didn't even know existed until now. Most of my competitive experience is local or on other Mario Kart games, and my lines are polished from lots of casual play and time trials. Some great items to secure good ending as long as I don't get hit before the cut. And there's an easy finish for me. First time in the top 3 and beating a key this time around. A whole 12 points away from a key overall. Trevito trailing me closely even though I haven't seen him in front of me very often. Finally on the track that I've been voting for, Donut Plains, we're going to see who talks the talk and who can walk the walk. And by that, I mean the grass cut that I just learned and well, I don't use the best method for it and it's not always consistent. I just learned it to some degree of success, and it's enough to put me ahead of others. I tried taking a wide line here and all that airtime is very slow. Put to rest by a green shell. Nothing I can't fix right now. Taking the shortcut. Holding my mushroom for the next patch of grass. Skipping some items but should pay off. And the weed with very deliberate collision messing it up. Not much pressure now, holding my own. This straight coming up would be great for my boomerang, but lightning taking away my items just before would be a great time to use them, though not a terrible loss. Still another lap to fix this. Rosalina Yeet showing me just how little my weight stat is, despite me hitting her from the left. Triple mushrooms is huge for me right now. Bit of a wide line. Oh, and what a sneaky bomb catching DK Kugi and I in there. Bit of a poor recovery, but dodging the fireballs. The small boomerang hitbox is proving trouble for me right now. Ginja passing me with a draft, 3 more taking the shortcut. Only just barely edging out Yoshi Trevito. I got the bad ending again. Zachman in the top 4 this time around. Aki beating out Ginja. Jesse up top taking the lead on this one. He joined late but is looking to shake things up, certainly making his mark already. If he places first in the last 2 races, that would put him at 53 points. It's not impossible for him to beat out Zachman for the 6th place spot, currently at 36 points. I took a tight line in return for no item. Would have had to go pretty wide to get one. Quite the party we have here. DK Kugi taking the green path to get some space. DK Jesse leading the pack again. So far so good for him. This mushroom could be good for the shortcut, but I have no defense and my shroom is forced to recover instead. Still in 4th, doing alright for myself. Here's a great example of the disadvantage to my build. I got a drift to make the most of it, which puts me in harm's way more often snaking all around. At the time of making this video, I'm now using the Wario Scooty build. It competes with the Wiggler build's speed and weight without taking away too much mini turbo. It's the in-between build of Waluigi Scooty and Wiggler. That boo didn't help much at all, especially for being this behind. Waluigi Zackman really messing me up with that banana slip. Proper last place items finally. Wish I could get to that bullet though right now. Gold shroom done just in time for another box and I'm out of here. Up to 6th place and trading places with 5th. King Boo Ginja actually hanging back here and I get way too comfortable with his triple greens. I gotta remember to be more cautious online with a desync, but trailing him was a horrible idea in the first place. Luckily I'm able to recover, fire ready on the straightaway looking to take Ginja out. Lightning ends up nullifying the attack. We see Gabe playing his Mii up front for the first time after that dodge. Zackman takes me out with his bullet despite my fairly tight line. That red shell on the ground catching me off guard as Lakitu was blocking the view. I'm just getting wrecked and far from the pack as well. Time to dump the green shells. Using that bell right away to take what I can get with this race. Passing quite a few players, going from 11th to 7th. Was never able to hold a decent spot. Gabe unfortunately lost the lead he once had. Jesse ending in 9th this race. That loss will guarantee he doesn't make it into the top 6. On another note, I'm secured a top 6 spot at this point. Trevito and Bart Simp still have to fight to keep their spots. I think Jesse deserved to move on, and I wish I could have raced more with him into the next round. He seems like a great opponent. I wasn't really excited to play this track again considering how many mistakes I make here. Trying to take the grass cut, I get pushed out of it by King Boo Ginja. Decent enough recovery to the front. DK Kugi's speed beating out mine. Daisy Aki close with a draft. You know, I've noticed in my head I believe I use my back cam often, but after watching this over, it's almost never. Like, wow, I'm losing out on a lot of necessary information. I'm fully aware Kugi might drop his banana on the cut. I go for it anyway as it's a crucial time save. Still holding on to 2nd after that mistake. Got myself at a bit of a weird angle after messing up that Ultra Mini Turbo. 2nd place, lap 2 with a blue coming in for Kugi. Looking good for me. Many players are right behind me though. Hoping to get Kugi with that banana, but not quite. Instead dropping it off in front of the double box. Finally front running. Everyone rather spread out. I held too far inward on the drift, which caused me to bump the wall. Then not enough speed to start the drift. I'm hopping everywhere. Ginja taking advantage. Kugi careful at the path around me. I'm still okay, but driving not so confident this race. Missing an easy box. Trying to go wide too late for the blue shell. Ginja takes that blue and says, you know what? I'll slow down and share the pain too. I'm gonna catch Daisy Aki in there as well. I managed to land on a green shell despite my defense. Predictable pathing on my part. Double shrooms are not going to help much at this point, but at least it'll guarantee a good grass cut, because I keep finding ways to mess that up. However, I decide otherwise and go for the double box again. Fire flower in the way of the shrooms, gotta spam it. Taking the tight turn did not work in my favor, losing me a potential 5th place finish. Just like the first race, skipping the item boxes would have been the way to go. Any items I pull in 6th place isn't going to be enough to make up for the wide line I take. Anyway, Trevito and Bart do keep their spots and move on to the next round. Ginja and Kugi finish top 2 with close high scores. Aki comfortably in third. I'm an astounding 25 points away from her. A lot of ups and downs. The top three have certainly shown me they run the place. They're comfortable in this environment and they're looking to take it all. I know I can compete with at least Kugi and Aki. We'll see if what I've learned is enough to step it up for the next round. GBA Mario Circuit. We'll see who has the strats down for this one. It's got a few fun shortcuts. Waluigi Malpool takes the lead early. DK Kugi up here as well. And for whatever reason I felt absolutely compelled to deny Malpool front of the pack. Careless use but hilarious to watch in hindsight. Staying close but aware I can't pass Kugi with that red shell. He denies me coins while I'm sitting back politely. I decide to try this despite not being confident with it. Ends up not being worth it, getting pushed to the left, now passed up by Aki and Trevito. The trick is to do a neutral hop. Haven't been paying much attention to coins. I've collected 1, started with 5. Still holding on to the front of the pack. Another careless red shell backfiring. And not a very efficient use of the shroom. Would have been better to save for the shortcut coming up. DK Kugi very far ahead at this point. The bomb and shroom gonna provide an easy shortcut while blocking the way. First is definitely not lost. Haven't seen a spiny shell yet. It's bound to show any moment now. Got my coins and there's plenty of space for both DK Kugi and I. Plan to use this mushroom for the glider cut, but I mess up the line and go for items instead. That mushroom is going to allow for another easy shortcut. Cheeky attempt to last second snipe Kugi, and I'm going to start the round off with second place, beating out Ginja for the first time. Gecko with the Tanuki Scooty build opting for some of the lowest speed and weight in the group, similar to that of Aki's Daisy. This is one of my favorite tracks with the large gap cuts, pure speed, and its great use of the anti-gravity mechanic. I managed to take the lead with a draft off Kugi. Let's see how long I can hold it this time. There is hope, as this is one of my best tracks. No defensive item, but I'll be able to take the shortcut, which will separate me from everyone. Not another player in sight. It feels good to get away from the chaos. These shortcuts are some of the most fun in the game in my opinion. I love that the floatiness lets you do some wild things. No one close by, but things usually get spicy after the glider. Dropping the bomb back for something more reliable. No one's able to contest me right now, but there is a blue shell as you can see on the map. Playing so well right now, these boost pads are in a similar position to a time trial. Not switching out those items for a potential super horn. Nothing can be done about that. Quick recovery. As long as lightning or triple reds doesn't show, I should be home free. I mess up the button presses for my items, failing to trail the banana in time. Gecko wastes no time stealing first. Should be able to hold second at least now. Tanuki Gecko really far up there. Another mechanical error putting me in third. It's those two little mistakes that lost me 5 points this race. Bart Simp placing higher than usual. You're welcome. Ginja in a low spot again. Gecko is now in the lead, and Kugi and I are tied for second. On to Animal Crossing with a summer version, so nothing goofy going on this time. Winter has the off-road, autumn has the leaf piles, and spring has the extra ramps. Trailing the banana out of fear in the pack is going to bite me as I drive defenseless. Now forced to take no items from the air. What a smart strat. Kai, Crypto, Bart, and I all tightly knit on this narrow track, but no one with offense. Side by side with Gold Trevito fighting for an item box. Boomerang, not the item I want, but able to take out Waluigi Malpool. Gold Trevito taking the cut only to get put behind again. DK Kugi in second and Tanuki Gecko with a fair lead. Roy Ginja taking the grass cut to surprise me with his triple reds. Trading blows, but the boomerang should be taking out his red shells, and I think the online connection says otherwise. Once again, no items from the air, not in a great position right now. Daisy Aki and DK Kugi at the front. Meanwhile, I'm now in 8th and have to be wary of Gold Bart's red shells. Went for a single box assuming the doubles would be taken. Bakili's backing a bomb to take out the threat of Gold Bart's reds. Tried a little too hard to snake here. Beautiful bomb throw from behind, getting caught in that. All that misfortune finally put me in last place. Got the right idea with those shrooms, but holding the drift proved to be a mistake. Finally hitting the balloons for items, a star and golden shroom in 12th is not exactly what I was hoping for. No bullet bill, and the pack might be a little too close together for lightning to show up. Nothing's gonna save me from a bad position at this point. Triple shrooms don't matter when everyone else has them too. That's gonna throw me in 10th place, a huge loss. A key one this time. Kai and Bakilis getting some better points for themselves. Gecko and Kugi now fighting for the lead. Mute City is an interesting track. Half of it is full of speed boost, which means many power items are useless on those parts of the track, which can make it difficult to catch up. Nothing really happens for the first 15 seconds of this race. We're all just vibing, but fast. No item to start, but somehow managing to get in front, which should be short-lived when red shells are held. No one's firing their shells at me. Leading with this shroom could allow for a breakaway. Oddly enough, I'm getting away for free. I can only assume Roy Ginja and DK Kugi traded red shells. A bit too much speed for me to handle is going to make all that risk and reward amount to nothing. 2 shell hits, flipping this race upside down for me. Back to more chillin' on the boosts. A boo in 9th place isn't going to help very much without a shock dodge. Spiny Shell's going to leave me empty-handed as well, but slowing down Tanuki Gecko is worth something right now considering his spot on the leaderboard. Spiny Shell looking like it didn't slow down Gecko at all. I decide skipping the star and using the bullet right away is the way to go. I don't think it's the most efficient use of the items, but it seems to work out in my favor. The top 3 are so far away, but slowly crawling ahead once again. There's the lightning. And lucky for me, I come out of it cruising. Looking to take out the formidable Ginja, and with one of the best weapons in the game. Nothing you can do about 3 red shells and a plant. Daisy Aki taken out as well. Somehow Yoshi NRK is able to get out scot-free. Lots and ups and downs on that race. Kugi and Gecko take top 2 once again, making it difficult for anyone to touch them. Aki close with me, followed by Bart and surprisingly Ginja. I'm interested to see how the last half of the set treats him. Mario Kart Stadium is fun because of its grass cuts that don't need items. You do need to be able to execute them to keep up. Getting pushed out wide right away, the mushroom giving an easy shortcut for me. Many people not taking the cut at all. Snaking my way into first. If you're going to use your back cam on a track, the time is now. It's crucial to watch behind you on straightaways where green shells and fire are strong. Doing a lot of brake drifting here, desperately trying to get behind Tanuki Gecko's red shell, only to get passed hard and blocked off from the glider cut. Gecko was likely just using it to protect himself until the next item box. Trying too hard to not get hit cost me a lot more than just moving forward. that green shell just barely missed. Now zooming past everyone with the star, getting back into the game again, hitting whoever I can. Accidentally falling Rose Gold Kai leaves me empty-handed. Kugi, Travito, Malpool, all passing. With that bad angle, it's going to force me to bail on the glider cut. Triple greens and shrooms is a solid pull that allows me to catch up and have a large barrier afterward. Taking a wide line to dodge the blue shell. And it looks like my barrier doesn't matter. No mercy from Bart Simp obliterating me with his star power. The pack is spread out now, trying to do what I can with what little resources I have. Going to be able to go tight on the grass and save the next shroom for the end. Finally able to take the cut, passing as many people as I can, fighting other players who are all taking the same shortcut. That's going to put me in 7th place this time. Kugi taking a lower position than expected this race. Ginja making a comeback, taking first, followed by Aki and Gecko. The scores are closer together this time around. Anyone can win. This track is full of twists and turns, which is great for builds with high mini turbo like me, or Daisy Aki and Tanuki Gecko. No box right off the bat. Aki trailing her red shell right away. I tried to back off, but the desync strikes again. Now on the back with DK Crypto and Yoshi NRK. If you look at the map, you'll notice Tanuki Gecko is the only one begging this time. Waluigi Ginja now stopping to join him. Staying back for the good items allows players to take the waterfall shortcut, but more importantly, Bullet Bill is really strong here because there's an extension in this S-turn section. The build doesn't like to drop you off on certain turns, so it just keeps going for a few more seconds. Yoshi NRK knocking me out with his star. All I can do is use the mushrooms to recover and take the grass cuts. Losing control of my vehicle is going to cause me to miss another item box. Point blank fireball is going to shove me further behind. Having a hell of a time this race. We're about to see if Ginja and Gecko can make use of their power items now. Crypto making a bit of a mistake there, but hits me for passing him. That really messed up my line now. Not getting as much out of those mushrooms as I planned. Taking the single item box instead of waiting for the double. 9th place is when the really good items start coming in, so the double box would have been worth the wait. We might see the end of Bakili's lead soon. Now there's a spiny shell with their name on it. My bananas aren't going to help me, but ignoring those free 4 coins isn't going to help either. Tanuki Gecko successfully in the front of the pack. Waluigi Ginja using Bullet Bill to do the same, passing me. Coming out of it with triple shrooms. Treating him well despite the attack from Daisy Aki. I'm just barely able to get the double item box for a huge item pull. I immediately take out Daisy Aki and hope to get the guy in front of me. Unfortunately for me, he's invisible, so that ends the race in 4th place this time. Not bad considering the circumstances. Gecko and Ginja in the top 3. Their begging strats treated them well. Malpool placing high this time in 2nd. Gecko's got quite the lead now, a whole 19 points ahead. He's placed top 3 in every race so far this round. Cheeseland, we're about to see more heavy begging. I take the lead for now. Ginja, Gecko, Malpool, and Kugi all looking for power items. Bart Simp and I fighting for the lead. The reason people stay back for items is to take the 2 shortcuts at the end of the track, and there's a spot where the bullet bill lasts longer than usual. Everyone is so spread out right now. The pack isn't even a pack. Metal Bart and I just having a polite gentleman's race together. It seems like Metal Bart must have hit the off-road. I'm much more comfortable up here alone. Using my bomb offensively, leaving me empty-handed, but catching Daisy Aki in the explosion. Ginja and Gecko stopping for more items. Pretty quiet by me right now, not being contested. Tanuki Gecko catching up with everyone. Waluigi Ginja coming in with a bullet bill, taking the extension. Achilles, Bart Simp, and a Key following me. I have quite the breakaway, so expectedly, I'm about to get shut down. The Spiny Shell finally comes to take me out after no one has touched me for 2 laps. Several players taking the glider cut at the end now. Final lap on Cheeseland is bound to be interesting. Daisy a Key in the lead, now followed by Bart. I went from 3rd to 8th in a matter of seconds as players use their items to take that shortcut. Tanuki Gecko now in the front of the pack, and Waluigi Ginja catching up as well, leaving me looking like a fool after holding first for 2 laps. A single mushroom isn't going to allow me to take both glider cuts. I'm not going to clutch this one out. Bananas and a mushroom in 7th locks me in the middle of the pack for a 6th place finish. All 4 sandbaggers taking the top spots, followed by a Key, Bart Simp, and I, who held the front of the pack until the end. Gecko has secured 1st place. Bachiles, Travito, Kai, and Crypto can no longer reach the top 6. Everyone else will be fighting for their spot. And how fitting for the final race to be on a Rainbow Road course. No begging this time around. In the middle of the pack, Gecko, Kugi, and Ginja leading as usual. Drafting off Achilles after some clean drifting. Bit of a traffic jam ahead, the leaders are shaken up. Tanuki Gecko still holding strong in front though. Look at me getting an item box every time so far. Found myself way too close to Melpool holding the red shell, and only to get crushed on the recovery. Now in the back again along with Ginja, Aki, Kugi, and Travito. Speeding in front of Aki's triple reds is not the smartest move, but it seems to work out. I'm home free. Blooper is one of the last items I want, but on tracks like this with all these turns and no railings whatsoever, it's going to make an impact. Lightning coming out with at least 4 players dodging. I'm not one of them. Everyone very spread out now. Tanuki Gecko leading, Waluigi Ginja now in 2nd and with a star. Spiny Shell coming for Gecko from the other side of the map. He might have to find a way to outplay Ginja to keep his lead, not that it matters much for him. Getting some great mileage out of those mushrooms, chaining into a double box. A shock dodge could win me the race. No lightning despite DK Crypto's position. It looks like my 4 mushrooms aren't going to allow me to pass anyone. That's 5th place to end the tourney. Melpool and NRK placed high this race. Aki, Kugi, and Bart Simp lower than usual. Gecko breaks 100 points. Ginja 2nd place, Kugi 3rd, Aki and I tied for 4th, and Melpool in 6th. Everyone in the top 6 with close scores except for Gecko, who's always a few steps ahead. As for the tie, Aki gets to take 4th, and I take 5th in the tourney overall, as she destroyed me in the first set. It's important to note that 1st and 2nd give bonus points. Each race, everyone gains a point plus another per person you beat. And if you take 2nd, you get 1 extra point, and 1st place gets 2 extra points. The difference between 1st and 3rd is the same difference between 8th and 3rd. Unfortunately for me, I never finished 1st and took 2nd only once within this whole tourney. I had a lot of ups and downs. I learned quite a bit from this, and making this commentary has only helped me analyze my play further. I've already changed how I play and improved significantly since then. My strategies and lines are more optimized, and I've taken a liking to the Waluigi Wiggler and Wario Scooty builds. If you made it to the end, thank you for allowing me to entertain you for 40 minutes straight. If you were one of my opponents, GG's. All of you were quite the competition. Please like and subscribe to help me grow, and I'll see you in the next video.